So there's been a lot of talk of new streaming platforms suddenly sprouting out of the ground out of nowhere ever since the fall of Mixer. And honestly, I think most of them are doomed to fail because they're missing the entire point, and it's kind of counterintuitive. In this video, we're going to be talking about what they're doing wrong, how they can actually work towards making streaming a better place, and what they might have going for themselves. And I'm revealing a big secret about streaming with myself that I've never really directly admitted in a video. Right after this message from our sponsor, Nerd or Die. Nerd or Die is a great place to get all sorts of stream assets, overlays, alerts, really a place to just make your stream stand out and look more professional and better built. And it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg, because I have a temporary coupon going for the next 11 or so people who use it. Vox50 will save you 50% on alerts, overlays, layouts, sound effects, bundles. There's a lot you could use it for. Save yourself 50% and get a nice discount and help your stream stand out. We're going to talk about some other ways that this needs to happen in this video. I'm EposVox, your stream professor, and as mentioned, there are a lot of new streaming services popping up post-Mixer. We've got, there's Trovo, Lunar, Theta, Brime isn't a thing yet. There's Cast and Crouch Jump and Gillamesh. There's like a ton that have all just reached out and talked about showing up. And they're all feeding on this anti-Twitch sentiment that's kind of been brewing over the past however long. And I'm not entirely sure that I agree with it, because the problem that people have with Twitch isn't as petty as many of these accounts and their social media presences would lead you to believe. And I think they're focusing all on the wrong things. They all want to beat Twitch, but that's not the right direction to take. We've seen this before with YouTube. There have always been calls for competitors to YouTube and for a YouTube 2.0, and we've seen other video sites show up and do this. Rip VidMe. And they all end up with the same fate, in that they shut down and were unable to, meet their goals and maintain profits and yada yada. And the problem is that they were trying to be another YouTube when YouTube already fills that niche, fills that desire, that gap in the market that was there. And you can't just sprout up and have no reputation, no sense of community, none of that, to just replace a website that everyone goes to every day. It doesn't work that way. And so the strongest true YouTube competitors have been Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, whatever other video services people are using now. Those are competitors to YouTube. Those are alternative platforms. They are video platforms. They don't do the exact same thing YouTube does, but that's the only way you really compete, is by doing something better. The problem is that just another video site or just another streaming site isn't good enough to matter. Popping up and being Twitch 2.0 and doing pretty much everything that Twitch does the way Twitch does it, and not really innovating and just, bantering at them, isn't good enough to really earn you the replacement slot. It's just not. Twitch alone, while having some clearly apparent management issues, Twitch alone is not actually the problem here. I think so many people think that it's Twitch, or that it's Alinity, or that it's this, that, or the other, and Twitch itself isn't the problem. The problem is streaming. It's streaming content. And this is where I reveal a very weird secret of mine when it comes to my content on the channel as the stream professor, in that I don't actually enjoy watching streams that much. I don't enjoy finding them and trying to figure out what I'm going to watch next. You think about watching TV and the concept of channel surfing, and that should be even better on a platform with so much independent content that we love watching day in and day out, right? No, it's a miserable experience. It's very tedious. There's so much downtime. There's so much investment just to find out if there's going to be a payoff for what you're actually watching. There's so much boring stuff. Honestly, it makes that stream critique show that I was running for a bit before I had my baby quite the grind, because as much as I love helping people and finding new ways to improve streams and seeing what's innovative and where people can fix things, there's so much boring stuff to wade through in order to get to that point. And as an anecdotal example, for the longest time, I wanted to find out what all the hype was about Ninja's newer streams. I had watched him back in the Halo days and stopped watching during the Arma days when his rage was getting out of control and whatever. But every time I tuned into his stream, be it on Twitch before he left or on Mixer, it felt like every single time that I tuned in, which was many attempts, he was either texting and just like not doing anything or saying anything to chat, or he was just out of the room entirely with an empty chair, or it was just a boring part of the game, not doing much of anything. Like there was nothing, I felt no reason to, I didn't feel compelled to keep watching or to be like, yeah, this is the #1 gamer and streamer and like it was just weird. But that's not Ninja's fault necessarily. I mean, he could do some things better, of course, but like that's just the nature of what we have accepted as the standard content level for live streaming. In fact, this video was kind of inspired by a video from Harris Heller where he pointed out the investment versus reward balance compared from Twitch to YouTube. Whereas YouTube, you only have to spend like 10 seconds, you know what you're getting, you're either sticking with it or leaving, and you can bounce across a bunch of videos in the time that it takes just to watch an ad to view a Twitch clip. Like before you even pull up a Twitch video, you're hit with a 30-second ad. In Harris's video, he points out that Twitch's strength, the thing that they need to leverage more, is their clips discovery, their, you know, all the exciting moments from streams. And that's the core problem here, is that the most exciting part of Twitch about a live streaming platform is their VOD content. It's stuff that isn't live. Now, if we think about it in terms of traditional TV, live content on TV is also boring. Event coverage when the event hasn't even started yet, live TV news trying to fill the 24-hour cycle, things like that. Imagine flipping through football games, but instead of just picking from one of maybe 4 teams playing on a given night and just watching, there's literally hundreds of thousands of football games at once, and they last 4 to 8 hours with lots of downtime, and you're served a 30-second ad before you can even figure out at what point you're watching in the game. That's Twitch in a nutshell. I do believe there are going to be competitive streaming sites that find new ways to innovate and to really, you know, take some of the market share, some of the viewer base away from Twitch, but not directly compete at being the exact same site. While the next streaming site definitely needs to get management and monetization down right from the start, that's definitely not going to be Brime. Their immature Twitter presence alone makes it clear that their management could not possibly be any better than Twitch's, which is a terribly low bar. But these sites also need to be doing other things. They need to actually innovate on streaming as a concept. Yeah, sure, they need to leverage clips more and integrate VOD content. They need to improve discoverability. YouTube has huge discoverability for streams if you actually start watching them. A lot of you probably haven't actually watched or like searched for yourself. You know, not maybe watched a stream from a channel you already are subscribed to, but have you actually searched for and then clicked on and watched a live stream on YouTube? That's probably a lot less common. But if you've ever clicked on one of those 24/7 music streams, then you probably know that when you went back to your homepage was flooded with more 24/7 music streams. That kind of discoverability is something Twitch doesn't really have and most streaming platforms don't really have. The YouTube homepage can be amazeballs when it comes to both video and stream recommendations. They need to reward high click-through ratio content. One of the reasons that I am bullish on Trovo, despite a lot of hangups with that platform, which will be covered in its own dedicated video, is their focus on rewarding streamers for streaming and for holding events. They have dedicated tournaments, streamathons, specific features of specific games, like they want you to focus on this game for a little bit, all while just starting out with very few streamers or viewers. Like they want to have a reason to come watch other than there's some people playing some video games and whoa. Ultimately, a core problem here is that a live streaming website's most popular and rewarding feature is non-live content. Something has to change there. That's actually why I'm so snarky on people who want to become a full-time streamer, and I've been the same thing about people who wanted to do kind of generic gaming content on YouTube. If all you are doing on the platform is staring at a game for 8 hours a stream and not mixing it up as I've suggested in Stream Critique with different show formats and things like that, or doing some heavily varied content so that there's actually something interesting to tune in other than when you're playing a game, it's literally not possible to succeed on the platform at this point. The content just isn't entertaining on its own as a format, especially if you're not already entertaining for an audience of 1,000 when you only have one viewer. If you're not doing that off the bat, how can you expect those people to show up and be entertained? Another important aspect to get down is community features. If YouTube can nail community features and community integration, combine that with their discoverability, it could take over streaming easily. But YouTube is way too corporate about it. Every time they implement emotes or bit stickers or any of these extra features that other platforms already have, they just end up feeling too corporate or too generic or too plain, because that's how YouTube rolls these days, unfortunately. Remember when we had just completely customizable channel pages like MySpace layouts? This is tangential and not actually important, which is the core of my message, but I would really love to see a new streaming service that gives us more than just a banner, that gives us a fully customizable page. Obviously, the full like CSS and HTML style of MySpace is no longer secure or a way to go, but give us some heavy customization about how our channel pages look. That would be lovely. Anyway, Twitch's big thing is the name recognition. Like when people think live streams and they go to game stream, you think Twitch. It's been in TV shows now, things like that.
Do you know what Twitch is?
And then the community features. There's emotes, there's subs, there's memes, inside jokes, there's this whole culture, subs, bits, Omega lol, Wadu heck, referencing other streamers. There's this whole culture around Twitch that just exists within it, and you can't really just spread that to another platform easily. Mixer overdid it. That looked like one of those crazily designed MySpace pages, and then YouTube has tried reinventing some of that and has just corporatized it way too much. I honestly don't know how anyone could pull off reimagining some of these features without it feeling like a ripoff or feeling too cringy, but I think that's the next element that's important. Generally speaking, streams are more fun to drop into when you have that shared culture and memes, that inside language, when you just pull up Twitch and pull up any stream and can reference, emotes, or drop a sub and get a expected reaction out of it, or give some bits and troll the streamer, or song requests, all of those things that you're familiar with that have an impact that because you're on the shared experience platform. Those make tuning into streams a little bit more, appealing. It's still, Twitch still has a ways to go, but they have that in their favor. Twitch has also had a decade to build that up, but there is some magic there. It's also why people won't leave. It's why whenever big streamers move over to Mixer, people get sad and they keep watching on Twitch, because this whole Twitch culture and this whole Twitch thing that they're used to working with and expect, it's what they enjoy. It's what keeps them on the site. But if people are able to recreate that magic with better innovation on streaming on the whole, then boom, you might actually have a successful Twitch competitor, quote unquote, or streaming service that's an alternative to Twitch. So a message to the Brimes and Trovos and Lunars and would-be Twitch 2.0s of the world. Just earning streamers crypto while they stream, or providing shallow virtual signaling on Twitter over terms of service and banning Alinity won't really get you anywhere. It just makes you look immature. It just seems weird in some cases. You need to innovate. You need to actually innovate upon streaming as a platform. And honestly, I feel like that ties into my main goal here on YouTube. I am here to push streaming forward, to make it better, to give you ways to improve, to make your content better. Because I basically saw the rise and fall of gaming content on YouTube, in that it started with this very plain Jane, here's some edited, here's a full unedited gameplay session, here's a vocal track I couldn't bother to cut up my mistakes out of, and that was the format for a very long time. And some people got so rigid on it that then once that changed over, they were unable to adapt and they died off. And there are plenty, like thousands upon thousands of channels who started out this way and wanted to succeed, thinking that they could just get away with that and didn't bring anything else to the table, and never made it when they could have made it. The same thing on streaming and with all of the streaming stuff. It's a very similar story, and I definitely believe it can be improved upon. I think the streaming format on the whole can be improved upon, because just as that plain Jane gaming commentary format got a little boring, I feel streaming has gotten to that point as well. And while I think there will always be a place for the hang out and chill, play video games streaming format, I think it's time to get some better innovation here on the game streaming scene, and for other streams as well. And frankly, I think a lot of other niches are doing a lot better job of that, but I want to see more. And I think most of the Twitch alternatives coming out today are completely missing the point and probably doomed to fail as a result. There are some other cool platforms that are coming out that don't even try recreating the streaming experience, but rather helping you control what you do with that and providing you a better home while still streaming to another site. And I'm excited to check some of those out. So get subscribed. We're going to be talking about a lot of streaming services coming soon. Ones that exist and don't continue projecting conspiracies about being associated with a banned streamer. I'm EposVox, your stream professor. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below. Actually, don't even bother with YouTube comments. YouTube comments are a waste of time for everybody. Come join us on Discord, eposvox.gg/discord. Come chat with us. I want to have a big whole discussion about this whole topic. And then head over to eposvox.gg/nerdordie. Use the coupon code VOX50 and save yourself 50% on a new stream layout, because your old one's probably not very good. Subscribe for more stream education. Hit the like button. Come check us out on Floatplane for early access. I'll see you next time.